Hi people, welcome to another video on the channel, and today it is a Euros video, and today we are predicting the round of 16. The group stages are done, dusted, finitoed, finished, and we are going to be looking at the round of 16. So without further ado, I'm going to waste no more of your time and we're going to get straight into the video. But before we do, make sure you smash the like button, absolutely destroy the subscribe button, and if you never want to miss a video, turn the notifications bell. Not here to force you, but it will be greatly appreciated. We're closing in on 600 subscribers, so that would be greatly appreciated if you could slap a subscription on. It is completely free. And without further ado, let's go. So we are kick-starting things by looking at the first round of 16 game, which is coming up this Saturday, and it is Switzerland versus Italy. The defending champions take on Switzerland. Now listen, at the last tournament, Switzerland did cause a big upset by knocking out France, so hopefully they can do the same, because as much as I'm wearing an Italian football team's shirt while I'm saying this, I do hope Italy get knocked out. No, I'm not salty because, you know, we lost in heartbreaking fashion in the last Euros. However, I do think Italy, you know, will come through. The only sort of, you know, disappointing factor from an Italian perspective is some of the players like Chiesa, who did so well at the last tournament, haven't quite been as good. You know, the likes of Bonucci and Chiellini aren't at this tournament, so that's a lot of experience that they are missing. So, it's a massive factor. And listen, Switzerland, they've got some big game players. Listen, Shaqiri, he's got that moment. He's got that moment of absolute magic. We saw that equaliser that he scored against Scotland. He can come off the bench and he can cause problems. And also, you know, Italy have lost this tournament. They lost to Spain. Granted, you know, it's Spain and they were absolutely pitch perfect in the group stages. You know, Switzerland went undefeated. You know, they beat Hungary 3-1, drew to Germany and Scotland. So listen, Switzerland have had the better group stages by the stats. So yeah, it'll be an interesting game. However, for a score prediction, I would be surprised if this goes to extra time and maybe penalties. However, I do think it is going to be Switzerland 1, Italy 2. I think they'll just about have enough to get through. Hopefully I am wrong though. The next game, I also do think this is probably going to be one of the best games, as the hosts Germany take on Denmark. Germany won, you know, Group A in, you know, very dominant fashion. Absolutely obliterated Scotland. How in the other two games, you know, they drew to, you know, Switzerland. They also did struggle against Hungary as well. So it's not been, you know, the perfect group stages. You know, if it wasn't for maybe, you know, Scotland being so pants, then maybe, you know, the group stages would have gone a little bit differently in Group A. But Germany have won nonetheless, and I think they're going to be the favourites going into this game. Assuming Denmark didn't win a game. They drew all three of their games. They drew 1-1, 1-1 twice, and 0-0 once. So they've definitely got the ability and the minerals to cause a team like Germany threats. I watch Denmark. They can cause threats to, you know, a so-called dominant side. You know, like England, on paper, should be beating Denmark, and they gave us some problems. They've definitely got threats of goal scoring from outside of the box, and they've got some very good players. They've always a threat from set plays. Their team is just built different. However, I think Germany will just have the overall firepower and the quality. Musiala's had a very good tournament. You've got Ritz who can come up. Havertz, despite not really doing much in the group stages, has had a very, very good season for Arsenal. And I won't lie, he has massively let me down in FPL. So he's been transferred out. However, he can still cause threats. They've got likes of Gundogan, loads of experience. So I do think Germany are going to win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if Denmark take the lead or equalise reasonably quickly though. But I'm going to go for Germany 3, Denmark 1. The next one, it's England. We take on Slovakia. Now listen, granted we didn't lose a single game in the group stages. It was dull, it was boring, it was miserable, it was dribble, okay? For a team that have such the firepower and world-class players, top goal scorer in Germany, best player in La Liga, best player in the Premier League, and we're playing like absolute dog poo. So something does have to change. I don't know if it's Gareth Southgate or if it is generally just the players. I think it's a bit of both, quite frankly. We seem to go 1-0 up and then just park the bus. I don't know if anyone saw the graph or, you know, the stats of what happened when we went 1-0 up against Denmark, the average position of the players. It was basically sat on the edge of our own penalty area. It was painful, and I hope we do up our game. It really depends on the team selection. He cannot start Gallagher or Trent next to Declan Rice. Jude Bellingham has to be moved deeper, and Phil Foden has to be moved to a number 10 if he is available, of course. If not, then Cole Palmer has to come in. Gordon has to come in as well. Like, he does need to make changes, but I'll be very surprised if Gareth Southgate does make more than 2 changes, because That's just, that's not even insulting. That's just what he's done throughout his managerial career at England. He doesn't make many changes to the squad. If he makes 1 or 2, that will be quite surprising. Slovakia have had a very, very good tournament so far. They beat Belgium, narrowly lost to Ukraine, but granted they gave Ukraine an absolute good seeing to in the first half, and drew 1-1 to a very impressive Romania side. So they're going to be very difficult to break down. However, we should have enough. As I've said, we've got some of the best players in the world in our team. Some of the best players in their respective leagues. We should be beating Slovakia. Listen, I think they're going to make it difficult. I wouldn't be surprised if it does come down to 1 goal. However, I'm going to go England 2, Slovakia 0. This is relying on Gareth Southgate getting the team selection right, of course. The next game, and I do think this could also be one of the games of the round, Spain versus Georgia. Listen, Spain have been immaculate. They have been perfect this group stages, winning all 3 of their games, getting 9 points, and winning the group. A fantastic first half display against Croatia to beat them 3-0 in the first game. Beat Albania 1-0 when there wasn't really anything on the line, so it was a very, very good result. Also beat defending champions Italy 1-0, and the Italy game was sheer, complete and utter domination. Absolutely peppered Italy's goal with shots. So listen, they're going to come into this with confidence. However, Georgia have been very good. They did beat Portugal to qualify. They've come through the 3rd place slot. Their front 2 have been absolutely fantastic. Listen, I'm not even going to try and say their names because I know I'm going to butcher them. But bang, they're on screen. They have been absolutely fantastic. They've been prolific going forwards. It's been very, very entertaining to watch. And I think there's a chance that Spain could underestimate them and Georgia could maybe surprise them with, a couple of good chances or maybe even a goal. So, with all that being said, I do think Spain will just have a little bit too much. Too many just world-class players, like Rodri, etc. And going forwards, I just think they'll have a little bit too much. However, I do think Georgia could really surprise if they can get maybe an early chance and really just lock Spain out in the first 15-20 minutes. Then I think they could, maybe take this game to the distance and make it quite close. However, I do think Spain are going to get the win. I'm going to go Spain 2, Georgia 1. The next game, and I do think this is going to be one of the most one-sided games of this round, France versus Belgium. Don't get me wrong, Belgium got through the group, but listen, they drew 0-0 to Ukraine and they lost to Romania. That is not a team that is going to be, that is not a team that is screams of world-class players, which they do have. They have Kevin De Bruyne, one of the best players in the Premier League when fit. They have Lukaku, who's a very capable striker at the top level, who has put the ball in the back of the net twice, but they were both offside. So if he learns the offside rule, then Belgium might have a fighting chance. Listen, ultimately, they beat Romania, and Romania, a team coming up against a team like Romania, they should be beating Romania. So that isn't like a massively, great thing, as much as Romania have been good and have got through to the knockouts. And listen, France, they've not really been perfect. Sort of similar to England. Not really got off second gear just yet. Like, drawing 2 games, winning 1, and the 1 win wasn't particularly extravagant. Beating Austria 1-0, drawing with Poland 1-1, and drawing with the Netherlands 0-0. How the Netherlands are a decent side, so you can maybe, let them off for that. However, I think France are just going to really turn it on in this game, and I think they're going to absolutely obliterate Belgium. I'm going France 4, Belgium 0. The next game is Portugal taking on Slovenia. Now listen, Slovenia were in England's group, so I very much sort of know what they're going to try and do. Granted, it was the last game. England were already through. So Slovenia were obviously going to try and maybe time waste a little bit, be a lot more, defensive and try and, frustrate England as much as we do play, very boring football. It was at the point where we were just passing it sideways because we just couldn't break them down. However, this is knockouts now. This isn't the groups. There is a lot on the line for both teams. Listen, Portugal, they entered the group with a loss, but they were already through. They got 6 points on the board. So, and on paper, Portugal should comfortably beat Slovenia. But I think Slovenia are going to make it difficult. I think they're going to make it frustrating for Belgium. I just think they are going to just have the world-class players and just the talent just about to beat Slovenia. But I think it's going to go on late, and I think Portugal are going to nick it last 15 or so minutes. So with that being said, I'm going to go with Portugal 1, Slovenia 0. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it's going to go down right to the wire. It's going to frustrate Portugal. But I just think they've just got the talent, they've got the ability, and they've just got the players to just about beat Slovenia 1-0. The next one is Romania versus the Netherlands. Romania have done fantastically well to get out of the group, with, some of the good teams that were in that group and top players. They've done very well, but they take on Netherlands, who do have a lot of good players. You know, we're in a group with France, just about got out of it. It was a little bit shaky at points. However, I do think Netherlands are going to, you know, they're just going to have the quality. Even though they did only get through 3rd place, that Austria won the group. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be super one-sided. I just think Netherlands have just got the quality and the talent to beat Romania. So, with that being said, I am going to go with Romania 0, Netherlands 3. I don't think it's going to be as one-sided as the scoreline suggests. I just think Netherlands are going to be clinical. I just think they're going to be able to cut through Romania. I wouldn't be surprised if Romania get on the score sheet. However, I just think Netherlands will have enough firepower going forwards, and I'll be very happy for Romania if they do get through. It'll be a massive underdog story. I just think Netherlands have got far too much. They've got top-class players in every single position, from defence to attack. I think they will beat Romania 2-3-0. My final prediction is 3-0 to the Netherlands, though. And the final round of 16 game is Austria versus Turkey. One of these two sides is going to get to the quarterfinals, which is fantastic. Austria won the group, which was very surprising. They had Netherlands and Portugal in that group as well. So they've done very, very well to get to this point. Ralf Rangnick has done a very good job. Turkey have finally lived up to the expectations, just about 4 years too late, because everyone expected them to do quite well at the last tournament. They flopped incredibly badly, finishing last in the groups last time. However, they are here. I think it's going to be a very, competitive game. However, I do think Austria are just going to nick it. I think they're going to have the momentum from the group stages. They're going to have the confidence. And I just think they're going to have that little bit more quality. Turkey will give them problems, but I think Austria will win this by 2-1. I think it'll be a good game to watch, and it's fantastic that one of those nations is going to get to the quarterfinals of the Euros. Thank you all for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. These are my predictions. I'm looking forward to the round of 16. I should do this for the quarterfinals as well, based on see how much you all enjoy it. Feel free to put your predictions in the comment section down below. And thank you all for watching. Make sure to slap a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and if you want more from me, my TikTok is linked in the description, where I post ideally most days. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Goodbye.